Imagine a moment so profound, so utterly unexpected, it transcends the boundaries of sport and politics, sparking a ripple effect that touches millions of lives. It began on a night of dazzling lights and roaring applause, a global spectacle where the world's eyes were fixed on football's greatest icons. But what unfolded next wasn't scripted. It was a raw, powerful display of leadership that sent shockwaves through every corner of the globe. This is a story of humility, national pride, and the unifying power of a single, heartfelt gesture. As you delve into this incredible narrative, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on this unforgettable moment. Your engagement helps us bring more transformative tales to light. The air in the grand stadium crackled with an almost palpable energy. Thousands of fans, a vibrant tapestry of cultures and nations, chanted in unison, their flags waving like a sea of colorful aspirations. It was the night of the International Football Gala, an annual pilgrimage for the world's greatest players, esteemed diplomats, and influential figures, all gathered to celebrate the beautiful game's unparalleled power to unite. Amidst the blinding flashes of cameras and the thunderous applause that echoed through the arena, Cristiano Ronaldo, a legend whose name was synonymous with footballing greatness, stood poised. He was there to receive yet another accolade, an award for his unparalleled contributions to the sport, a testament to a career built on relentless dedication and extraordinary talent. Backstage, away from the immediate glare of the spotlight, a special guest waited with quiet dignity. Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, had been invited to attend as part of a significant cultural exchange. His presence underscored Africa's burgeoning influence, not just in sports, but increasingly in global leadership. Though their fields were vastly different, one commanding the pitch, the other navigating the complexities of a nation, both men shared an unspoken bond, a reputation for unwavering discipline, fierce determination, and a quiet strength that had, in their respective spheres, inspired millions. They were leaders, each in their own right, embodying resilience in the face of immense pressure. As the ceremony progressed, the charismatic host, with a flourish, announced a surprise segment, a deviation from the meticulously planned agenda. Cristiano Ronaldo, the global icon, would present a symbolic gift to a distinguished guest, a gesture intended to embody the spirit of resilience and hope that defined the evening. All cameras instinctively panned to President Traoré. With a calm yet purposeful stride, he approached the stage, his gaze steady, his presence commanding. The anticipation in the stadium was almost unbearable. What could this unexpected exchange entail? Ronaldo, a warm smile gracing his face, extended his hand, holding aloft a beautifully framed jersey. It was his own iconic number 7, meticulously signed and inscribed with a personal message. To Ibrahim Traoré, a true champion for his people. The crowd erupted into a fresh wave of appreciation for the gesture. Traoré accepted the gift, a flicker of surprise momentarily crossing his stoic features. But what happened next stunned everyone into a profound silence. Instead of a simple nod, a polite handshake, or a quick photo opportunity, President Traoré lifted the jersey high above his head, turning slowly to face the vast audience. His voice, steady and resonant, yet filled with an undeniable passion, cut through the residual applause. "This gift is not mine alone," he declared, his eyes sweeping across the hushed crowd, connecting with every person present. In football, as in leadership, greatness is measured not by trophies or titles, but by the impact we have on those who believe in us. I dedicate this jersey to the spirit of Africa, resilient, proud, and united. Ronaldo, visibly moved by the raw sincerity and profound humility of Traoré's words, nodded in admiration. Cameras zoomed in, capturing the emotion of the moment. Then, in an act that solidified the impact of his speech, Traoré gently folded the jersey and with a tender gesture handed it to a young boy standing in the front row. The boy, a youth ambassador from Burkina Faso who had traveled for the event, clutched the jersey, his eyes sparkling with a mixture of awe and disbelief. A ripple of profound emotion swept through the entire stadium. Instantly, social media exploded. Clips of Traoré's heartfelt speech and the symbolic passing of the jersey went viral within minutes. Hashtags like Jersey for Hope and Traoré Moment trended worldwide, dominating conversations. Football fans and political commentators alike praised the moment's authenticity, its powerful message, and the unexpected humility displayed by Traoré. Analysts predicted that this viral moment could inspire a new wave of youth empowerment initiatives across Africa and beyond, a simple gift transformed into a beacon of hope. The global applause had faded. The trending hashtags had begun their slow descent from the peak of social media, and the stadium lights had dimmed, leaving behind the quiet hum of a world still buzzing with the memory of an extraordinary moment. For many, the exchange between Cristiano Ronaldo and Ibrahim Traoré was a fleeting headline, a captivating snippet of unity in an often divided world. But for President Traoré, it was profoundly more. As the initial euphoria settled, he saw not a personal triumph, but a monumental opportunity, a door flung wide open, demanding to be walked through, not just with words, but with concrete, transformative action. The viral moment was a catalyst, a spark that had ignited a fire he was determined to fan into a roaring flame of change. Back in Burkina Faso, news outlets replayed his speech non-stop. The image of Traoré, a leader embodying grace and humility, handing the signed jersey to a young boy, resonated deeply with people across the nation. It was more than a gesture. It symbolized a profound promise to the country's youth, a powerful affirmation that their leader genuinely cared about their future, transcending the usual rhetoric of politics and policy. The very next morning, with the dawn still painting the sky in soft hues, Traoré gathered his closest advisors. The air in the presidential office was charged not with the usual weight of governance, but with a renewed sense of purpose. "This moment has opened a door," he stated, his voice firm but filled with conviction. "We must walk through it, not just with words, but with concrete, transformative action." His vision was crystal clear, sharp as a diamond. To harness the immense power of sport and culture, not merely for entertainment, but to forge tangible opportunities for young people, not just within Burkina Faso, but potentially throughout the entire African continent. The signed jersey, he knew, was a potent symbol, yes, but symbols, however powerful, demanded to be matched with unwavering substance. Within a mere few weeks, a period that felt impossibly swift given the scale of the ambition, his government proudly announced a groundbreaking new national initiative, Champions of Tomorrow. This was no mere token program. It was a comprehensive youth empowerment blueprint, meticulously designed to combine rigorous sports training with essential education and robust community development. The overarching goal was audacious, yet deeply human: to provide vulnerable children, particularly those in underserved areas, with unprecedented access to modern facilities, life-changing scholarships, and invaluable mentorship. The aim was to help them not only develop their athletic talents on the field, but also to cultivate critical life skills, resilience, and character off it. The global community, still captivated by the initial viral story, quickly took notice. Football clubs across Europe, inspired by the authentic display of leadership, pledged their support, offering equipment donations and even sending coaching workshops to share their expertise. Non-governmental organizations specializing in youth development approached Traoré's team, eager to offer their vast experience and resources to expand the program's reach and impact. It was a testament to the power of a genuine message that transcended borders and political divides. President Traoré, true to his nature, was not content to merely oversee from a distance. He personally met with young athletes, his presence a quiet inspiration. He visited training centers and schools, his humble demeanor putting everyone at ease. He listened intently to their dreams, their struggles, their aspirations, making it unequivocally clear that their voices mattered, that they were integral in shaping the country's future. His accessibility and profound, genuine interest won not just admiration, but deep-seated trust, solidifying the belief that this initiative was truly for them, by them. The Champions of Tomorrow was no longer just a government program, it was rapidly becoming a beacon of hope fueled by the unwavering belief that every child deserved the chance to become a champion, both on and off the field.
The initial surge of enthusiasm for the Champions of Tomorrow program was undeniable, a powerful wave of hope sweeping across Burkina Faso. Yet, President Traoré, a leader acutely aware of the realities on the ground, understood that true transformation was not built on headlines alone. It was forged in the crucible of sustained effort, navigating the complex terrain of deep-seated challenges. While the vision was clear, the path ahead was fraught with obstacles. Access to quality education and suitable sports infrastructure remained severely limited in many rural areas. Pockets of poverty, the lingering shadows of conflict, and the ever-present threat of political instability still loomed, threatening to undermine progress. The program, for all its initial promise, needed unwavering commitment and broad collaboration to address these formidable issues head-on. Traoré, with his characteristic blend of humility and strategic foresight, worked tirelessly to integrate the Champions of Tomorrow initiative with broader national development plans. It wasn't enough to simply build football fields. The program needed to be a holistic ecosystem. He linked it directly to essential health services, vital vocational training, and local economic projects. The underlying idea was profound. Empowering youth meant nurturing their minds, bodies, and communities in their entirety. Through this integrated approach, the program began to weave itself into the very fabric of daily life, becoming a cornerstone of sustainable growth. In Parliament, debates inevitably arose. Some politicians, facing the immediate pressures of economic strain, questioned the feasibility of such ambitious programs. Was this a distraction from more pressing national issues? Traoré, however, welcomed constructive criticism, seeing it as a vital part of a healthy democracy. Yet he remained unwavering in his conviction. Public support for the Champions of Tomorrow was strong, a testament to the people's belief in their children's future. His team eloquently argued that investing in youth was not a luxury, but a fundamental investment in the nation's future stability and prosperity. In a powerful televised address, Traoré articulated his core belief: the strength of a nation lies in its children. When we nurture their talents and spirits, we plant seeds for a future where Africa leads with dignity and innovation. As months passed, the first pilot projects launched in several provinces, and their early successes began to fuel a powerful wave of optimism. Young participants, once held back by circumstance, spoke with newfound hope and opportunity. Schools reported a significant increase in attendance and engagement, a direct result of the program's incentives and holistic approach. Coaches praised the blended curriculum that combined rigorous athletic training with invaluable life skills, fostering not just athletes but well-rounded individuals. International media, observing this remarkable evolution, began framing the story as a compelling model for other African countries, highlighting how a simple act of respect between a football star and a president had blossomed into a movement with tangible, real-world impact. One young girl, Aminata, became a living embodiment of the program's transformative power. Growing up in a small, remote village, her dream of becoming a football star seemed impossibly distant, hampered by a complete lack of proper training or equipment. Through Champions of Tomorrow, she received expert coaching, invaluable mentorship, and crucially, a scholarship to continue her education. Her story, a beacon of resilience and determination, spread quickly, inspiring countless other families to support their children's participation. The program also made significant strides in encouraging gender equality in sports, actively breaking down cultural barriers that had long limited girls' opportunities. Female teams flourished, competing proudly in regional tournaments and gaining well-deserved recognition on social media and local news outlets. For Ibrahim Traoré, this was the profound fulfillment of a promise made not only to the boy in the stadium, but to millions watching and believing in the unifying power of humility, national pride, and collective action. As the Champions of Tomorrow program gained undeniable momentum within Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traoré's vision began to ripple far beyond the nation's borders. What had started as a symbolic gesture transformed into a tangible movement, now ignited a continental dialogue about the profound role of sports in nation-building and the crucial imperative of youth empowerment. African leaders, seasoned policymakers, and influential figures across the continent took keen notice, intrigued by how a simple gift and a heartfelt response could spark such meaningful, systemic change. At the hallowed headquarters of the African Union, the very heart of continental collaboration, discussions were underway. There was a palpable buzz to explore how similar initiatives, tailored to diverse national contexts, could be adopted across member states. A special committee was swiftly formed, dedicated to studying the powerful intersection of sports, education, and social development, with Burkina Faso's burgeoning model serving as a key, inspiring case study. Traoré himself was invited to present his unique approach, a testament to his burgeoning influence. He emphasized, with his characteristic humility, the foundational principles of inclusivity and cultural pride as cornerstones for sustainable success, proving that true leadership resonated far beyond political power. Meanwhile, back home, the program's pilot sites continued to show promising, even exhilarating results. In the bustling neighborhoods of Ouagadougou, young athletes trained on newly refurbished fields, their laughter and determined shouts echoing through areas once marred by poverty and unrest. Schools partnered seamlessly with local clubs, integrating physical education with leadership workshops and academic tutoring. This holistic focus fostered not only impressive athletic skills, but also instilled vital confidence, discipline, and a deep sense of community spirit. Aminata, the young girl whose journey had become a national inspiration, embodied the program's profound impact. Her story, once a quiet dream in a small village, now resonated across the nation, inspiring countless other families to champion their children's participation, particularly encouraging gender equality in sports and breaking down long-standing cultural barriers that had historically limited girls' opportunities. Female teams flourished, competing proudly in regional tournaments and gaining well-deserved recognition on social media and local news outlets. Traoré's leadership, ever hands-on, extended far beyond administrative duties. He made it a point to attend matches, his presence a quiet encouragement. He spoke at schools, his words resonating with the aspirations of a new generation. He engaged directly with the youth, listening intently to their hopes and struggles. His accessibility and genuine sincerity strengthened trust and motivated participants to dream bigger, to reach for horizons they once thought unattainable. International donors and corporate sponsors, witnessing these tangible successes, responded generously, providing crucial funding for expanded facilities, essential equipment, and comprehensive training programs. This collaboration between government, civil society, and the private sector exemplified a new, powerful model for sustainable development, firmly anchored in community ownership and shared purpose. Yet, despite the mounting successes, Traoré understood that the journey was far from over. Challenges remained. Political opponents, ever watchful, attempted to politicize the initiative, questioning its costs and priorities amidst ongoing economic pressures. Traoré, however, addressed critics publicly, reaffirming his unwavering conviction in the long-term benefits of investing in youth as essential to national security and prosperity. International media, captivated by the unfolding narrative, began framing Burkina Faso's story as a compelling model for other African countries, highlighting how a simple act of respect between a football star and a president had blossomed into a movement with real-world impact. Young people across Africa began to see themselves reflected not just in athletes or politicians, but as active agents of change, builders of a new legacy grounded in respect, humility, and pride. Traoré's initiative even inspired vibrant cultural expressions. Songs, art, and literature celebrated the fusion of sports and identity, while documentaries captured Aminata's journey and others like hers, showcasing the transformative power of opportunity.
Even Cristiano Ronaldo remained engaged, visiting Burkina Faso to witness the progress firsthand and encouraging global audiences to support similar efforts. As the sun set over Ouagadougou, a new generation laced up their boots, ready to run toward their dreams, not just on the football field, but in every arena of life. The gift that Ronaldo gave was no longer just a jersey. It had become a symbol of hope, unity, and a future reclaimed by Africa's youth and leaders alike.
Months had transformed into years since that initial viral moment, and the momentum behind the Champions of Tomorrow initiative had not only endured, but grown stronger, deeper, and more pervasive. President Ibrahim Traoré's unwavering leadership had achieved something truly extraordinary. It had transformed what began as a symbolic gesture into a nationwide movement, reshaping the hopes, ambitions, and very fabric of an entire generation. Yet, with such profound growth came new challenges and opportunities, constantly testing the resilience and vision of everyone involved, from the highest echelons of government to the grassroots volunteers in the most remote villages. One crisp morning, Traoré met with his team in the presidential office, reviewing reports that painted a picture of remarkable progress. Youth participation in sports and education programs had not merely increased, it had doubled across the nation. Still, the reports also highlighted significant obstacles in certain regions: persistent lack of infrastructure, lingering security concerns, and cultural resistance in more conservative communities. "We cannot let these challenges divide us," Traoré stated firmly, his gaze resolute. "Our children deserve the same chance, no matter where they live. We must deepen our commitment." The government responded by allocating additional funds, forging stronger partnerships with local leaders, and launching targeted awareness campaigns to encourage every community to embrace the program's values. Traoré emphasized the paramount importance of inclusion, ensuring that the initiative reached not just boys or urban youth, but girls, rural areas, and marginalized groups, leaving no one behind. At a stadium packed to capacity for a regional tournament, Traoré addressed a crowd filled with cheering families and young athletes. "Every time you step onto the field," he declared, his voice resonating with passion, "you carry the dreams of your country. You show that with unity and perseverance, we can overcome anything." The event itself was a vibrant celebration, featuring friendly matches between boys and girls teams, a joyful spectacle that celebrated equality and actively broke down long-standing barriers. Aminata, the young girl whose journey had inspired so many, now a rising star and a national youth ambassador, scored the winning goal in the final match. Her triumph was a moment of immense pride, not just for her family, but for all who had championed the initiative. Media coverage highlighted these successes, and international observers lauded Burkina Faso's approach as a groundbreaking model for how sports could foster social cohesion and empowerment. Yet, Traoré remained grounded, knowing the monumental work was far from over. Back in the bustling capital, a coalition of African leaders extended an invitation to Traoré to share his invaluable experience at a summit focused on youth development and sustainable growth. His speech, delivered with characteristic humility, consistently emphasized the power of listening to those most affected by poverty and exclusion. "We must lead with empathy," he urged. "True leadership is not about grandstanding, but about lifting others. When we invest in our children's potential, we invest in the future of our continent." The summit sparked new collaborations across borders, with neighboring countries expressing keen interest in adopting similar programs tailored to their unique cultural contexts, yet sharing a common, unifying goal. Pan-African organizations pledged their unwavering support, creating a robust network of champions initiatives dedicated to education, health, and sports. Meanwhile, grassroots movements flourished, with local coaches, teachers, and volunteers working tirelessly, often under difficult conditions, to expand access. Stories of resilience, profound friendship, and personal growth multiplied, inspiring new documentaries, music, and art celebrating this vibrant wave of African pride. Traoré's relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo remained symbolic but deeply meaningful. Ronaldo's powerful social media shout-outs and occasional visits brought invaluable global attention and resources, amplifying the impact of local efforts. Their unique friendship became a powerful symbol of how different worlds, sports and politics, could unite for a common, noble purpose. Yet despite the accolades, Traoré continued to face criticism from some quarters, accusing him of diverting attention from other pressing national issues. He welcomed constructive criticism, seeing it as part of a healthy democracy, but remained unwavering in his conviction. The future we build for our children cannot wait. Empowerment is the foundation for peace, progress, and pride. As dusk fell over Burkina Faso, young athletes trained under the floodlights, their determination a silent testament to the enduring power of hope and opportunity. The jersey Ronaldo gave had transcended its material value, becoming a beacon for a nation's dreams and a continent's rebirth. Through humility, vision, and unity, Ibrahim Traoré showed that leadership was about more than power. It was about service, inspiration, and the courage to believe in a better tomorrow. The ripple effects of the Champions of Tomorrow initiative continued to expand, reaching corners of Burkina Faso that had long been overlooked. Traoré's vision had ignited a movement, but sustaining it required constant vigilance, creativity, and unwavering commitment. In a small village near the border, a newly built sports center stood as a testament to what could be achieved through partnership and hope. The center buzzed with activity, children practicing drills, teachers leading literacy classes, and community members organizing workshops on health and nutrition. The energy was infectious, the sense of possibility palpable. One afternoon, Traoré visited the village unexpectedly. The children erupted in cheers as he walked onto the field, but he remained focused on listening. He spoke with families, teachers, and local leaders, learning about their struggles and aspirations. The challenges were real: scarce resources, economic hardships, and cultural resistance in more conservative communities. "We cannot let these challenges divide us," Traoré told the gathered crowd. "Change doesn't come easy, but it comes through each of you believing that your dreams matter." Back in the capital, the government launched a nationwide campaign encouraging all citizens to support youth development in their communities. Radio programs, billboards, and social media shared stories of young athletes who had benefited from the program, highlighting their growth both on and off the field. Aminata, now a national youth ambassador, toured schools and villages, sharing her journey. Her message was simple but powerful. With support and determination, we can all become champions. Traoré's administration also prioritized building infrastructure, allocating funds to improve schools, clinics, and sports facilities. Partnerships with international donors brought in new technology and training programs, empowering local coaches and educators to expand their impact. As the program matured, it began addressing deeper social issues. Workshops on gender equality, leadership, and conflict resolution were integrated into training sessions, helping young people develop not only athletic skills, but also critical life skills. The initiative fostered a sense of pride and unity that transcended ethnic and regional divides. Football matches became celebrations of culture and community, where differences were set aside in favor of shared goals. Internationally, Burkina Faso's approach was hailed as innovative and inspiring. African leaders invited Traoré to speak at global forums on development, youth empowerment, and peace-building. His message consistently emphasized humility, listening, and partnership. Despite the successes, Traoré remained vigilant. Political opposition and economic challenges tested the program's sustainability. Some critics accused the initiative of being a distraction from more pressing national issues. He welcomed constructive criticism, but maintained that investing in youth was foundational to addressing all other challenges. One evening, as he reviewed reports with his team, Traoré reflected on the journey from that fateful moment when Ronaldo's jersey had sparked a conversation. The program had grown beyond expectations, but the real victory was in the hope rekindled in the hearts of millions. He knew the road ahead would require continued dedication, innovation, and courage. But as he looked at photos of young athletes, smiling, studying, and dreaming, he understood that leadership was about empowering others to rise. The gift that at once seemed symbolic had transformed into a movement, one that united a nation, inspired a continent, and redefined what it meant to lead with respect, humility, and pride. In the quiet moments before sleep, Traoré often thought of the boy in the stadium who had first held that jersey. That boy represented every child in Burkina Faso and Africa, with dreams too big to ignore. And so, the journey continued, one of hope, action, and the unbreakable belief that the future belongs to those who dare to dream and work together to make those dreams real. The Champions of Tomorrow program had become more than a government initiative. It was a national movement woven into the very fabric of Burkina Faso's identity. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership had sparked a transformation that inspired hope, unity, and pride among millions. Yet, the true measure of success lay not in reports or accolades, but in the lives changed and the futures rewritten. At a grand ceremony in Ouagadougou, the government proudly unveiled the newly built National Youth Sports Academy, a state-of-the-art facility dedicated to nurturing young talent from every corner of the country. The academy symbolized an enduring commitment to the long-term development of Burkina Faso's youth, providing world-class training alongside essential education and mentorship.